Hi, welcome to another edition of the Alan Rosenberg Show. It's Friday night, got home from work. I had a rough day, go on Amazon, figure I'm going to look at the new releases and try to get myself into a better mood after a really rough day. And I noticed something. So I was looking at Joni Mitchell's album, like the Asylum albums, 1976 to 1980, right? Um, Hajira and Mingus, Shadows and Light, great live album that I love. And then I see this, and I'm like, what the hell album is that? Because I have every Joni Mitchell album. I don't recognize that. Now maybe you could see it closer. Maybe I can make it a little bit bigger for you. And I'm like, that is no album cover of any Joni Mitchell album that I know. And you look closely, it says Don Juan's Reckless Daughter. I'm like, what the hell is that? Well, if you know Joni Mitchell, Don Juan's Reckless Daughter came out in 1977. It was a double album, and frankly, it's an interesting album. It's a bit of a strange album. She was experimenting back there. It's more jazzy, got a little bit more African American rhythmic kind of influence, and it's an interesting album. And it didn't really have any big hit songs or anything like that. Dreamland is really cool. I mean, they're all really good records when you're Joni Mitchell. But this was the album in 1977. That's the cover. Apparently, they've changed the cover for the new release, as well as digitally, they changed the cover as well. Why would that be? Well, if you look closer to the cover, this was a photo montage that was, the pictures were taken by Norman Seeff, but Joni Mitchell is an artist. She put it together. And, this is the remastered CD, so it's got, the different artwork, how he montaged, it. And if you look really closely, what a lot of people probably didn't realize, but that person in the front with like an afro and dark skin is actually Joni Mitchell. So, I guess you would, call it blackface, politically correct. Joni Mitchell was in blackface. This album came out in 1977, and it says Don Juan's Reckless Daughter. So, and I guess she's got the afro and the hair, and another part of it that I'm sure is gone is if you go on the inside, there she is, Joni again. You probably never realized that was Joni Mitchell, and it says Muslims, Muslims, ha ha ha. Now, what that was, not to get too involved, but there's a song on the album, and it's called Otis and Marlene. And Marlena, that is about, there's a line in there on the beach for fun and sun, something like that, while Muslims are shooting in Washington. Because what actually happened at that time, she was commenting, there was basically a Muslim kind of a little war going on around there, and people getting killed. And there was a hostage murder that took place in a house. And, it was a pretty involved thing. There was basically fighting between Khalis and the Nation of Islam and Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. And then Khalis left the group and became like a Sunni Muslim and became Hanafi. And that was when, African Americans were changing their name to Muslim names. Lew Alcindor became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Muhammad Ali, etc. And anyway, there was a big feud internally with the Nation of Islam, with the Hanafi movement, and the Hanafi family was actually murdered in their home in Washington, D.C., apparently, I guess, by the Nation of Islam. I don't know all the details, but she was commenting on that situation at that time in Washington in 1977, people getting killed with this kind of internal Muslim fighting war that was going on, I guess. Again, I don't know all the details, but that's the general idea of it. So she was commenting on that. Listen, I don't know what to feel anymore. So I'm kind of curious to know what your feelings are. Obviously, Joni Mitchell controls her art. She's agreed, I'm sure, to change the cover. Why on earth they would change it to this, I don't know, because this is looks like an outtake of something from this album, Dog Eat Dog. Now, Dog Eat Dog came out in 1985 and has nothing to do with Don Juan's Reckless Daughter and doesn't sound remotely like it. This is very electronic techno versus that album, which is very more rhythmic and African American jazzy like. Clearly, Joni's not a racist. I don't know her personally, but certainly she loves African American and rock and roll music and has African American musicians in her band always. I mean, but I guess back in 1977, people didn't really think twice about that. We live in a different world. God forbid you do this now, you're completely ostracized. And I'm not saying it shouldn't be that way because honestly, I don't know where the world stands anymore. I feel in the world in general, right is left, black is white, up is down. It's like insanity. I mean, I can't even watch the news anymore with whether you're in England or in the United States, for me, if you see your flag being burned and other flags of enemies of the country that you live in being celebrated, that doesn't make sense no matter what your political views are, because those people hate America regardless of your views, and they hate you regardless of you carrying their flag. And you're in America or you're in the UK, you're lucky to be here. And if you don't like it, then maybe you should get out to see what the rest of the world is like, because chances are you're going to be crawling back here, that you have the right to protest and you have the right to march, because you don't have those rights in the other countries. So I don't know where I stand with anything anymore. I don't know what is right anymore. I did a video a couple of years ago, did the Stones relinquish brown sugar? I did that video, really, I didn't see anybody talking about it or even anybody noticing it, but I noticed it. And then, of course, it came out to be true that they dropped the song because of what was going on out there. And clearly now Joni Mitchell has agreed to change Don Juan's Reckless cover from here to there. So, I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. But if you are interested in chipping in your opinions, I'm open-minded and I would love to hear your opinion. I'd love to know your opinion, and do you even care? I mean, the funny thing is, it's not a huge selling album, and I don't think I don't remember anybody even talking about this, but I guess if you released it now, it has the potential to blow up. Although, I don't know. Is anybody buying Don Juan's Reckless Daughter anymore? Doubt it. Anyway, a little bit of a rant, but I'm not totally ranting. I'm tired, and I don't know what to believe anymore, to be honest with you. So, anyway, would love to hear your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching. And, feel free to chip in. Again, thanks for watching. Have a great night. Stay safe, stay healthy. And thanks for watching the Alan Rosenberg Show.